Welcome to my channel, my friend. My name is Alfred Chingombe, and my channel is about my life, the things I learn from various sources, with the hope that you will pick up a pearl of wisdom here and there that will guide you in your own life. So let's dig right into it. Yesterday, I started my YouTube channel with the anticipation of doing one video every week. So one video every 7 days. That would give me enough time to plan, prepare, get a new video ready, new material. And after posting that video, I thought about it. And I realized that with where I want to go with this YouTube channel and my vision, my dreams, my goals, once a week would not cut it. 52 videos in a year would not cut it. And I started asking myself, why then did I choose once a week? Because we do this a lot of times. You have a goal that you want to achieve. And before you work backwards, the moment you set your goal, sometimes you immediately then think about how often should I do certain activities without working backwards. So I then thought about why is it that I picked once a week. Firstly, it was the easy choice, once a week. Secondly, I wanted to avoid, and this is one of the key things I want to talk about. One of my two main points is on this second thing, is that I wanted to avoid burnout. So this avoiding burnout aspect for me came down to playing it safe, plain and simple. That is my comfort zone. I knew that I could do more. I know I can do more than once a week. It's staying within where I feel safe, where I'm comfortable. The moment I go beyond that to once a day, and yes, I could do twice a week, 3 times a week, but for me, it's either once a week or once a day. So I then decided, no, I will do once a day. Once a week is my comfort zone. With where I want to go, my vision, my goal, 52 times a year would not cut it. Once a day would cut it. It pushes me outside where I'm comfortable, pushes me into the area of fear, of can I actually do this? And looking back to when I started running, like I mentioned in my previous video, that I run quite a bit these days. When I started running, I started off small and built beyond it, but I would not run that which was comfortable. I had to work backwards. I had to start off with which marathon was my first one that I wanted to do, and then I worked backwards in increments of weeks and months to say, from that marathon, what do I need to be doing today? What do I need to be doing next month? What's my long run going to be, my practice long run, and then I can do my marathon. So I then realized that with where I want to go with this YouTube channel, I cannot afford to play it safe. That's my comfort zone, that once a week. And I cannot afford to just work on my comfort zone. I need to work outside my comfort zone in order for me to expand and grow and to also get to the goals that I have in mind. So that's the first main point, that we are so easily swayed into the trap of playing it safe by trying not to burn out. And when it's something that you are passionate about and that gives you energy, getting burnt out will not happen anytime soon. 7 days worth of videos is equivalent to a full 7 weeks of videos. And even if I do 7 videos, get burnt out, rest for 7 days, and then start again, in 14 days I've still done more than I would have done otherwise. And here's the kicker: the lessons learned. Because I know I will not get to my goals in 1 week, 1 month, maybe not even 1 year. It took me 3 years to get to a point where I could say I was ready for the Comrades Marathon. So I know from that has taught me that it takes up to anything beyond a year to get to a point where you are ready for the goal that you had set. So between now and a year from now, I'm either going to do 52 videos or I can do daily videos. And yes, there may be days I'll skip for whatever reason. So even if I do 200 videos compared to 52, come on. Come on. The lessons that I could gather, that I could learn in that time of making myself better, communicating to you, sharing the nuggets that could work for you in those 200 day videos compared to just 52. Oh, come on. Oh, no. It's a no-brainer immediately, just with that first key point. And then the second key point is that by doing it daily, now this comes into doing what's outside my comfort zone, is that outside my comfort zone, I am then forced to embrace failure. I am forced to embrace failure in order to start, which I did with my first YouTube video. By embracing failure, now there's a concept that I heard from someone, I can't remember exactly who it was, where they talked about practice and performance zones. In practice zone, that's where you're practicing, that's where you are free to make mistakes. Performance zone is where you're now in the match. So if you think about soccer, for example, practice, when they're obviously practicing, they can make mistakes, goals can be scored, but they're not goals that will lose the league. These are goals in practice. If I'm the keeper, the goalkeeper, goals that are scored, it's lessons that I learn. So the more lessons I learn, of course I need to catch goals, but even if goals go through and they score, it's lessons that I learn. Oh, I should have done this. I should have dived this way. When he kicked that penalty, I should have waited a bit more and not shown which direction I was diving in before he hit the ball. That's practice zone. Now, when you get to performance zone, that's when you're now in a match. And the match, 90 minutes, give or take, give a few, let's say 120 if it goes into extra time. So 120 minutes is the performance zone. The practice zone, that's every day. This could be 5, 6, 7 hours a day for each day of the week before you get to performance of 2 hours. So 40 hours in a week for a 2-hour performance zone. So we are afraid, I was afraid to push myself outside my 1 video a week comfort zone because I felt that each video I post to YouTube is a performance zone. No, it's not. This is practice. I still give it my all, but it is a practice zone for my ultimate goals and milestones. And as much as it's practice, so a goalkeeper plays for a top tier league and team in one of the big leagues. As much as he might be practicing when he gets to the practice, that practice is performance, is at a performance level for when he was still hoping to get into that big team. When you're hoping to get into a big league team, you are performing at big levels. You still have practice sessions that you're putting in, and you're spotted when you're doing your performance level. But the practice that you were putting in before you got to this big league, that's not the practice that you're putting in when you get to the big league. The practice in the big leagues could be a performance zone for someone who's not yet in that league. But you've put in the effort. You've put in the effort. So there's a lot that goes behind what I do in terms of the practices I've had to put in. So let me talk about some of those, because maybe you might be thinking I'm making light of YouTube channels. Not at all, not at all. This is a performance zone, my friends. This is a performance zone for the person I was before I embraced failure. This is a performance zone. So, I was a member of Toastmasters for many years. I was a president of a local Toastmasters club here in Pretoria for 2.5 years, give or take. And that trained me in terms of speaking and communication. I don't always get it right, but how I was performing before Toastmasters and how I perform now when I communicate, worlds apart. That's the one thing. And then I also read a lot. I've been reading since my early 20s. 20 years later, almost 20 years, I'm not yet past my 40s, but getting there, very close. But 20 years later, I'm still an avid reader. And that reading has brought me from a place where there was very little content I knew and would digest in my times of thought and even in looking and analyzing my own life. That reading has now brought me to the point where I can look at my life and with what I'm doing now to actually break down and say, why did I want to post one video a week? Let me push myself forward. I would not be able to do that if it was not for reading and the lessons I picked up in my reading. So those are the two key things I wanted to share with you today, in that playing it safe to avoid burnout is just an excuse that we use to stay in our comfort zones. Someone who is performing at their peak does not even talk about playing it safe. They don't play it safe. They are pushing. Yes, they have advisors and people that guide them, but if you look at what the top performers do in your industry, wherever your dream and your goal might be, look at the top performers and look at what they do, and let that guide your level of top performance in terms of where you draw the line in playing it safe. And for me, maybe this does not apply to you, but for me, I realize that one video a week does not do it. So my aim, my goal, one video every day will be pushed out. The second one was embracing failure. Embracing failure so that you can start and embrace failure in practice. Understand the difference between your practice zone and your performance zone. Understand the difference. So that's my video for this week, for today. Here I go again, going back into this week mode. That's my video for today. And once again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. And I want to leave you with a quote from a book. It's called The Power of Focus by Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and Les Hewitt. There's a profound point that they mention in their book. And it says this. Think big. Create goals that get you so excited you can hardly sleep at night. Create goals that get you so excited you can hardly sleep at night. Life has a lot to offer. Why shouldn't you enjoy your fair share? Thank you, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow. My next video, I will talk about callousing the mind, which David Goggins mentions. I was asked about it in my first video to dig a bit deeper into this aspect of callousing the mind. So tomorrow I will talk about it, and I look forward to sharing some insights with you. Hopefully you will learn as much as I have learned. Enjoy, be blessed, subscribe.